Hi, everybody. I, is the sound okay? Geez, this thing is drives me crazy. But anyway, okay. Let's see who we got here today. Hey, Robin C. How you doing? Thought that was hair. You look like my auntie's Doris. Well, thanks a lot. Let's see. Hey, Randy Fahrenheit. NS something DP 4547. Bruce. Let's see. Hey, Crappy. Let me see. Howdy from Texas. Hey, haven't seen you for a while. How you doing? Howdy. Let's see. Bumpity bump. You guys seem to be having fun without me. I'll just go away again. Uh, let's see. Hey, Tennessee. Okay. All right. We're all started now. Let's see. Oh, I got some more people. I want to say hi, Joseph, Beal, and James too. How are you? Rohit and MP Maxplanation LT37. Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, I think I don't want to go under this thing. All right. Hey, Jeremy. You guys can hear me okay? All right. Let me know. Yes, no, hello. Yeah, hey, hoo hoo. Sound all right, guys? Okay, well, I'm going to pretend like it is anyway. All right. Today, what I wanted to talk about to start off is that, where we going in 2020. And I started reading this thing about these folks, and I sort of had known something about their store or someplace in England, and they'd been around for a while, and they were talking about how everything was changing. Hi, Neil. Um, and so, hey, Thon. So what I was thinking about is that you, I think it's important for us to realize is that we're like the people who, after the internal combustion engine came along and people started using cars, we wanted to stick with horses. Okay. And so we're like the horse and buggy group because we like the whatever characteristic there was of it. Hey, Tippy. So what I thought was thinking, okay, so for one of the things I don't think we should even try to do, except in very specific ways, is to say, oh well, so and so's is this isn't very accurate. Um, yeah, it's mechanical and it's hand done and it's this and it's that, but it's not as it's not as accurate as my, oh, I don't know, Nomos. It doesn't matter. Any watch that you have that costs less. But on the other hand, your Nomos isn't going to be as accurate as a $10 quartz either. So I think that's important for us to sort of think about in terms of where this whole show is going. And I think another thing that's important is that I'm the way the market works is that can we have any real input on that market? I mean, we're the consumers, or we're at least one group of consumers. I would imagine that most people who buy the kinds of watches we have aren't collectors. They'll have one and they'll have it and they want to make an impression on something or other. And so they go out and get a fancy watch. And so I don't know. I so that I was thinking, so what are they really talking about? Okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. One of the things that I do like a couple of directions that I like things going. Oh, hi Tippy, how you doing, man? Um, where should we go? Okay, I'm thinking of a couple different directions. All right, One, I think we need to go to stainless steel. All right, for one reason, I like gold watches a whole lot. This one's gold. I like my gold watches. But the general formula that has been used in a lot of marketing is 10 times whatever the production cost is. And if you put gold or platinum into that formula, what's going to happen to the price? Well, the price is going to go through the roof. And if you just look at the difference between the the quality of the case or the materials used in the case and the price of the watch, I mean, you can have stainless steel, titanium, tantalum, a lot of even bronze. Okay, but then as soon as you hit gold, gold has gone just insane price wise. Like around 200, not 200, 2000, early in this century, gold was like $200 an ounce, and today it's around $1,500 an ounce. That's just nuts. Now, if you use an ounce of gold, and I don't know how much gold is used, I looked it up once and I forgot what it was. But let's say you use an ounce of gold in a watch case, uh, and a steel case would cost you $10. Okay, and so if you multiply that by 10 and in terms of the overall price, you're ending up with $100 case. Okay. Um, Not bad. Maybe it would even cost less. On the other hand, if you have gold and let's say at $1,500 an ounce, with 10 times 1,500, suddenly you're up to 15,000 right away. And I thought, okay, well, maybe what we ought to do is sort of root, I guess, for the craftsmanship to go into the movement itself. I mean, you have a nice case made out of stainless steel. Here's a good example. This is my one of my favorite watches, and it's all stainless steel. Uh, a friend has a gold one. I love it, the gold one, but this one works just fine, and they both have the same movement. Okay. Hey, Clyde, how you doing, man? Um, Pete's time, Pete. How are you? And Dr. A and B. Let me see. I don't want to leave anybody out. Quarter eyes. Ooh, quarter, is that right? Quarter eyes? Okay, what's going on? Let's see what you have here. Um, hey, Forbin. Cases made from cougarans. Yeah, those can go up, I would imagine. Okay, hi, M Ying. Uh, okay, so this is what I sort of wanted to talk about, and a couple other things related to that, and this is what I think may be coming. There's a certain, I guess everybody's got a point where they say, "I'm not going to spend that much money on a watch." And for us, it seems to creep up a lot until we get smart, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon. And, but I mean, I was, before we started there, sort of talking, a couple guys, this one guy has some really great, very expensive watches. Was talking about this one watchmaker that he said, man, he said, I love those watches and everything, but the price is just crazy. And and yesterday when I was talking about FP Jorn, entry level at $20,000, you know, that's tomorrow. Oh, by the way, too, tomorrow when we have the second part of the piece on FP Jorn, the amount is goes way down for the entry level. So that's a good thing. At least one of the watches it does. Um, Okie doke. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Let's see. So, a couple things I would like to see in order to bring the price down. And when we're talking about under 10,000 for a watch, under 10,000 can still be a whole lot of money. All right, we're not talking about under under 10,000 being $5 for a watch. We're talking under 10,000 being probably between 5 and 10. And there's some, maybe even down to 3 or 4. But what do you get for that? And one of the things that I'm beginning to see a little of, um, is some movement, excuse me, some movement toward, we'll call assemblers. And now assemblers, I mean, to me, as far as I'm concerned, if Breitling is slapping together a bunch of stuff and sticks in an ETA, they're assemblers. Um, okay. Hey, Kwame and Johnny, how you doing, man? Uh, so we have Pucker Point. Yeah. So what what we're what we're beginning to see, and I've seen this with like 2 or 3 watches. I'm going to start with Opium. What Opium did is that they have cases by Voutilanen Kalen, which are really nice cases, but they're stainless steel cases. They have a movement by oh god, what's the name? Teletime. They were basically what they did. They took these old Teletime movements and did some stuff with them. Now, some other ones we're beginning to see are like who is it? Benjamin Key's stuff. He has some fancy French name, but what he's done is that he's had some really nice cases made and movements by Vossure, and he's selling these things between 3 and 5,000 bucks. He has a hand one out now for around 3. And so we're seeing some pretty smart people doing some things with really good stuff. And so instead of, paying a lot of money because they got a name like IWC or Breitling or something like that, and then they plop in an ETA and don't tell us about it, and then they say, well, we really done a lot of work on it. Fine with me. What's the work you've done? Just tell us. Hey, Kwame. Okay, so this is one of the things that I think that may be a trend for 2000. God, first I fell on the ice, damn near broke my ribs. Whoops, excuse my language. And I got up and they took me down and they said, okay, well, they said, well, you get a pillow and you can put it over where it hurts and that'll help you. And so my wife couldn't, well, my wife had a pillow. She said, here's all of these different pillows. And apparently she had a teddy bear that was stuffed with Tempur-Pedic. So she gives me this teddy bear to pull around. Every time I cough, it go wham. Hey Rick, how's it going? So I'm recovering from that. And so naturally I come down with a cold like some idiot. Okay, well, uh take more take more than that to shut me up, I guess. Um anyway, yeah. Okay, let's see. Kadoki won. Yes. Now, see, let me, Clyde, I'm really glad you brought up Kadoki. The reason is that, God, I need some. I saw this show today. It had a little bottle of rye. That's what I need. Anyway, pop one of these things. So, so they had Kadoki talking about Kadoki. So talking about Kadoki, um, there's a difference. Kadoki does all of his own stuff. He makes his own cases. He makes his own movement. He does everything. Okay, and he's really good. And he's also a member of the independent watchmakers group that has only the very best watchmakers. That's something I'm going to take up in a little vest pocket thing. How we talk about those things. All right. So but we have these other people, and I think they're getting smart. And this is the one thing I would really like to see is that if UWD, okay, that's the with that movement, the UW, I think it's called UWD 33.1. Okay, here's this really great movement. Yeah, these really great movements from Vaucher. Instead of using sort of the most off the shelf ones, start using good movements. Yeah, the price can go up, but it doesn't have to go up crazy high. I mean, and Benjamin Key is showing that he has these beautiful watches. I don't know, about 2 or 3 thousand bucks, something like that. But he's got the same movements that your $10,000 um, who are they? Hermes have, as well as the Parmigiani. So instead of paying $10,000 for something with an ETA in it called something else, they could provide us with watches for around a lot less than that have the same good movements. Now, one of the things um, I'm leery of micro brands. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, this is to me this is something I want to talk about is micro brands. Oh, I trust these guys like Rolex because what they're going to do, they're going to come out with a limited edition of a watch and make us pay a premium. I'm leery about that. I'm way more leery about the so-called established brands that what are you talking about? And a micro brand, I'd rather get something by Kadoki. I don't consider that a micro brand. I consider that a watchmaker's brand. There's a big difference. Okay. Now, somebody who knocks together some cheap watches like me and the guys over at Pretentious Watchmakers, I'll go get, I'll put $100 watch together that I can show you. They charge a lot more for, but they're not very good watches, but they're a lot of fun to make. Um, and I think we're going to that. I think is one of my quote unquote predictions. Now, what I'd like to hear from you guys, what are your plans? Okay, I'm making the watchmakers plans for them. Okay, instead of sitting here, gee, I wonder what they're going to give us this year, and saying, what should they give us? What should they provide us with? Uh, and there's all kinds of things. And I've heard people talk about, oh well, if we do that, then that's going to hurt the price. Not the price for us. The price goes down. That's a good thing. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got here. Okay, there are non-in-house true high horology movies out there. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And that's something that's exactly what I'm talking about. You put in, well, I'm trying to think. You have a lot of sort of medium priced high horology. Okay. Sort of entry level high horology, I think, was Jaja Lecoutre and Gerard Perregaux. They got some nice watches out there, but they're still pretty high. Okay. Um, excuse me. Okay, let's see what else you got. Okay, what are you guys talking about, Rick? Um, and I think microbrand is very overused. Exactly. Yeah, we got to. We have to have our own vocabularies. We can't let. I mean, we're buying the stupid watches, not some advertising freak. You know, we're the ones paying the money. The price to justify the art. Well, that's one thing. That's one way of putting it, Dr. A and B. One day I might build my own watch. I want to make them to be as industrialist-ish watch, similar to Rolex, but very different. I don't know why, but okay. What I'd like to make a watch look like as much as possible is something that Breguet made, except do it with no talent. um, Hi, Abdul. How you doing? Use lots of LSD and a sensory deprivation take. Neil, what are you talking about? Crazy guys. Um, a new Monaco. Um, that's a neat watch. I like that one too. Some of the ones. Here we go. Some of the ones are super cheap. Here's my super inexpensive, but it works great. And now they're in. I thought they were just into their fourth production run when they ran out, but apparently they're in their fifth production run. You can't get these things until May. $200 for it's got a I think it's a purpose built Siegel movement for a regulator. And so they put that together. They put it in this nice case, a little fat, but that's okay. And $200, hey, you can't go wrong with that. And this thing keeps great time. All right, so that, I mean, that's sort of one thing. And, and I think that if I spend a whole lot of money on a watch, I want to get a whole lot of watch for it. I don't want to get a whole lot of advertising because we pay for the advertising. If somebody they go out and they have I don't know, every time they sponsor something stupid, we pay for it. Believe me, we do. If you see a big Rolex sign at let's see, at a polo match, how many of you are polo players? I doubt a lot. If I played polo, I'd get a Jaja Lacoutre. uh, you're buying a Panerai? Why? JLC spends relatively low money on advertising. I guess that's the reason they offer more. Maybe that may be right, Rohit. Why would I? Who's getting a Panerai? Me? Why would I get a Panerai? The one good thing I will say about that Panerai has done, they've come out with their own. They have this base movement. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called the 9000, but I'm not sure. Hey, Flippin' Zippo. Glasudia Original also spends less money on it. I agree. So does there are a lot of them that spend less money. So we're not. I mean, they're on a fairly razor thin budget anyway. By the way, if you guys can find it, there's a online magazine called SKX or something like that, and they have a really great interview with Marco Lang. Now, Marco Lang, as you know, was sort of the founder of Lang and Heim. Hein left after a year, and then I guess Marco Lang, after about close to 20 years, sort of was eased out because of his didn't have any. He wasn't a businessman, okay, and that's important. Okay, what's going on here? Hey, Renato. Okay. My plan for 2020 is to refine my collection, get to fewer but more interesting. Rick, that's what I'm trying to do too. I agree with that, man. I'm having a hard time getting rid of watches. I look at them and I say, I can't part with that one, or I can't part with that one. But then I look at some other ones that I want to get. I say, oh, I'd really like to have that. But anyway, when am I going to have time for them? I got all of these other ones. So I think that one way to do it is sort of not exactly, but financially little, almost suicide, is to use them as trade-ins. I have a few watches I'm thinking, man, I can use that as a trade-in. I'll see. Oh, Neil, have I lost my point? Let me tell you something, Neil. Um, I have gone to a lot of things, but this is what I wanted this to be. There was a guy. I don't know if any of you are noir film fans, but I am. And there's this one guy who he's got a sign in front of his desk about how he likes to discuss noir films, and the film says uh, bar room, not classroom. I spent 45 years in a classroom. I don't want to I don't want to do that anymore. I want this to be more like a bar room, but not with us being jerks. We can have some focus. Okay, Neil? Okay. Um where are we guys going? Kyle. Hey Kyle. Yeah. Um you got a bunch of psychos. That's something else too. I think that we might think about is that when I look at my collection, I decided at some point I don't want to have any more than two of the same brand. Right now, I've got two Vacheron Constantins. I've got, well, in a strange way, I have two Beauvais. My wife has another one, so I don't know if that counts or not. But that's one way to organize it. Hi, Longshoreman. Um, okay. It's going to be a more selling for me than buying. Yeah, let me ask you, Clyde, how do you plan to sell your watches? I've never sold my watches. I keep them all. That's the problem. Got any suggestions for got any suggestions for selling your watch? Rich Buddy had this thing: trade in equal horological suicide. I don't know if it's horological so much as it is financial. Um, Sell them on Facebook. Okay. Hey, Rob T. Hi from Algrave, Portugal. Hi, how's it going there? Um, has been good for me reselling. I might try that, Rick. That sounds like a good idea. Chrono 24. The smart thing to do is to first sell it on Chrono 24, take the money from that, and then negotiate like mad on another one. Once you use a trade in, I found out they don't want to negotiate after the trade in. So you got to, sort of a dual negotiation. You're better off having cash in hand, and then you can begin to negotiate. Okay. Yeah, I know. Rohit, yeah, selling watches is not much fun. Uh, FP Journe Octa Automatic Havana Dial. Oh, I love that watch. Yes, yes, I do. That's a beautiful watch. I think you'd be able to resell a YT channel owner without a problem. Yeah, uh, MT Tech. I don't, you know, I I have some real, um, I don't know. I guess to me is sort of a strange ethical thing about being on a YouTube channel, and then you become sort of, because I want to be able to talk about watches in a way that I don't have some kind of ulterior motives. Okay, like, oh boy, this is a really good watch, you guys. This is the best one in the world. Then next week you see it up for sale on um, Chrono 24 or something. I have an Octa Havana. Yeah, Rick, and it's a beauty too. That I tell you, I would like one Havana. See, but this is the thing though. I have my two FP Journes, and for now that's what I want. Sort of like my two watch limit. But then something comes along. Somebody's got a really good deal, or a friend of mine says, "Hey, I'm trying to get rid of this, and let me give you. I'll sell it to you for a really good price." And I'd probably go for that. You precisely define a return policy first. Okay, Clyde, that's good advice. I tell you, I'm just not a good salesman. I'm just not. I just like, oh, well, the money's not important. God, I tell you, you know, when they got to me, my finances are crazy. Something happens every now and then. Suddenly, I have some money. Like just to give you an example of how weird things are. I've been retired since 2017. Okay, so I don't have a regular stream of money coming in. I quit writing books. I think I had my last book published. I think it was in 2013. It's been a few years ago. So all of a sudden, I'm just minding my own business, and I got an email from my agent and said, "Oh, hey, we got a bunch of money for you, a bunch of royalties, some kind of foreign rights thing they sent me." So I sent it in and I put it into my watch pot. Now, when you have an uncertain thing like that, it's really hard to know. Uh, just found another Hebrew for 5K. That's a good deal. That's a very good deal. Hey, Mazine. Yeah, you are late, man. I need to run to the grocery store really quickly. Always a pleasure catching you live. Hey, MT Tech. I'm glad you were able to make it. I recently traded 5 watches for a little. Rick. Oh my God, you traded 5 watches plus a little cash for FP Journ Optimum. Oh man, European Watch Company in Boston. Yeah, I got my monorector pont from them. Interesting stuff. Okay, hey Pete's timepiece. What's this? Less is more. Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, guys, let me see. Yep, we're out of time. I sorry, I've been as Neo said, got rambling a little and wasn't Einstein drive here, but there were so many different things that I think that I felt that we could sort of touch upon and think about. And oh, tomorrow I have part 2 of the FP Journ, of buying an FP Journ. And so I think you're going to like that too. Apparently, a lot of people were interested in getting an FP Journ based on the interest in the first one. Take care, you guys. Hope to see you tomorrow. Well, I hope you see the video tomorrow. Take care.